Hello, beautiful human.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it is my absolute pleasure. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Navigating these full moon energies.
Oh, yeah, the full moon, all right. Super moon. Couldn't just be a normal full moon, had to be a super moon.
Yeah, it did.
But yes, it was massive, and I feel personally that my healings tend to get a lot stronger. It's like the channel opens more in the full moon period. What about you? How does that feel for you?
Yeah, full moon and new moon, it depends. And I think it depends also on the star sign, like how much, it affects your specific frequency, but definitely the veil is thinner. So everything will be amplified for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So like I mentioned, guys, for anyone who doesn't know Althea, you've obviously been living under a rock with your eyes closed and your fingers in your ears. But yeah, she's here to spread some light language love and give, I guess, a an outlook on the collective energy right now. And I can't wait. uh,
Amazing.
Anything you need from me before you
Um,
get into it?
no, I
No,
think, yeah, this is perfect.
perfect. I will be waiting eagerly in the background.
Hi, guys. How's everyone doing today? Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll be taking some questions. So I'll maybe leave a little bit of question time at the end, but you can write in the comments while I'm explaining stuff as well. Like I always like to keep an eye in and out. I like to keep these presentations very much in flow. I try to prep, but it's always like, okay, some info here, some info there, and then we'll kind of like see what comes through. So the first thing I want to touch on, hello, hi, welcome, welcome. I like it, very interactive as well. So yeah, let me know how you guys have been feeling this full moon. It has, I mean, I'm an Aries, so what's been happening with the cardinal signs is they have been clearing 15 years of karmic cycles. And that's a lot, guys. Like, I mean, that's half of my life, basically, of karmic cycles and patterns. And I must say, I started feeling it around Thursday between actually, yeah, Wednesday evening. My sleep, so my sleep is, I sleep very well, like because I'm so active in the astral, I don't really have a lot of um problems falling asleep, and I exercise a lot, so my body is like rest. I don't sleep like a lot. I'll sleep maybe like 7 hours is generally what I get. Sometimes 8, sometimes 6, but 7 hours is probably where I function in a more like optimal state. And I could feel the moon because I had trouble sleeping, and I could see my kind of like patterns and overthinkings coming in, sometimes for something reasonable, sometimes for something not like reasonable at all, sometimes for small things, sometimes for bigger things. And I could just pick up that frequency. So for me, like how I like to navigate intense energies, and these are tools that all of you can use. Yeah, drink enough water during the event and during the full moons. Someone said they're tired, stressed out, but work, not full moon, maybe both. I like to go back to what I know, to my kind of like somatic tools and practices. So whether it's like yoga, some meditation, a little bit of stretching, some journaling, lighting a candle, having a bath, there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of like re-anchor and ground back into the nervous system. So that was my initial experience. Then I had a lot of very 3D stuff going on. Like I was navigating quite like I didn't work for like the one day, and I just had, friends and things that were happening. And then everything heightened a little bit between yesterday and today as well. There was also, I think I was told, so like I don't really follow that much, like I know astrology stuff, but I'm not here like, oh, this day is the moon, and like the information will come to me. So what I tuned in, and because I said, because this was this morning, I was like, this is not normal. I was feeling so lethargic. I was out doing stuff and whatnot, but I was feeling like very lethargic. And there's actually like a bunch of solar flares coming through as well. So there's a lot of energy coming through from the sun. So we're getting the full moon, and all the frequency and energy from the moon, and we're getting it from the sun. So if you are in tune and aware, you're getting like really, really, really bombarded with these things. And this can cause also a lot of physical things that can go on, whether it's like exhaustion, dizziness, nausea, palpitations, also feeling like scattered, not present. It can affect the root. Another thing that came through that I saw was a lot of core abandonment wound healing from source consciousness. So this is what a lot of energy workers are moving through at this moment in time. We are healing this core abandonment wound of separation from source consciousness. So this not feeling whole, this not feeling complete, and this is why there's a very big phenomenon of this kind of like twin flame. And everyone's like, oh, I need to be complete. Where is my twin flame? Like, no, guys, like you're just busy healing the core abandonment wound from source consciousness. And this is why you're not feeling whole, because you're almost longing to go back to be in that unified space with the divine creator, and so it's getting almost like misinterpreted. So that's kind of like a process that's been going on and been navigating for a lot of beings at this moment in time. There's a lot of timelines that are merging too. So a lot of timelines that are actually like unifying, and a lot of lower vibrational frequency timelines that are being let go of, with the attachment habits, patterns, and behaviors connected to that as well. So you measure progress in, like, if you look back 8 months ago, a year ago, how would have responded, how would have reacted. And it's different to where you are now. So that's how you kind of like measure progress. So you might come to the conscious awareness and realization at some point within the next week or within these few days with regards to this moon, that you actually have moved past and you actually have moved forward that experience, and you actually are not in a space where you're getting triggered anymore. So if you are around family members this weekend, or if you are around situations that can trigger you, have a look and see how you're feeling internally, what your response is like. And I was speaking to a colleague earlier, and she made this comparison, which I got a visual download as she was explaining it to me, of things like bubbling and boiling to the surface, and then the bubble like bursting, and then what needs to come out has come out. It's this energy of the Aries. So I thought that was quite interesting. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you've been moving through and how you've been feeling with regards to these full moon energies, and how you are navigating them, and what tools you are using to stay present. And again, sometimes we I don't want to say we guilt trip ourselves, but we are a little bit too harsh on ourselves. This is also a time to let go and to surrender and be like, okay, I trust the universe. I trust my path. I trust my progress. A lot of movement is happening on a physical level. A lot of actual traveling itself I was seeing coming up for a lot of starseeds in the next few months. So anyway, with these timelines merging and jumping, it might cause disturbances in your sleep. It might cause a heightened activations within your astral space. So you might be also observing old things come up in the astral. So like people that were maybe like in your high school, or people that you haven't seen for like decades and years, And the reason that happens is because it's easier for us to clear things in the astral because there's no limitation of time. So our guides will send us experiences, and they will send us lessons to navigate in the astral, because it's easier than us seeing the person in 3D, because we're not in touch with this person anymore. These people aren't around or even in our peripheral. So because of the lack of limitation of time construct within the fourth dimensional density reality in the astral space, we are able to clear timelines instantly. So it's really, really powerful. And what you can do to harness these energies of the full moon, or any full moon, any new moon, any portal energy, and I'll get to that as well. What you can do when you, before going to sleep, is set the intention. Sorry, guys, I'm going to be clearing on and off. Is set the intention that you want to release what doesn't serve you. You want to clear that pattern. You want to clear the situation. Yeah, someone in the comments, someone from my high school was in my dream last night. I don't know how old you are, but it's like I said high school because it was like, 15 years ago for me. Longer probably. 15, yeah, like just over 15 years ago. So that, or it could be family members that you haven't seen in a long time and that you're not in contact with, and you don't really maybe want to see, but there is still unresolved courting there. It will come up in your astral space. So ask before you go to sleep, sit, clear your mind, meditate, and ask your guides, okay, what is needed for me at this moment in time? What can you send me? What do I need to heal? What do I need to see? What do I need to observe? What do I need to know? What do I need to be cognizant of to move forward and step into my highest alignment, to be able to release what doesn't serve me? Because a lot of the time we're like, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll be, they said to me that I've been clearing on and off for like 3 days. A lot of the time we need to reclaim it in a way that is sovereign for our experience, because that's what it's all about. What clear spray did I use? I used something that is ayahuasca, bobisana, cacao, cinnamon leaf, clover, hibiscus, jasmine, lemon, lemongrass, lavender, orange rose, mapacho eucalyptus, orchid, plumeria, palo santo, vanilla, ylang ylang, rosemary, and sage. And I don't actually, yeah, it's Katukina, guys. You can even get a discount from my code. If you want to know where to get it from, send me a DM and I'll send you the website link. It's actually also in my link tree. And it's really beautiful. It's 100% natural, no chemicals or synthetics, ceremonially made. It's lovely. It's literally like, yeah. So I use sprays quite a lot. I find that I've got one in my car. I just find that they just kind of like uplift, and I use them intuitively. I've got incense on. I've got a candle on. I've always got stuff going in the air. Anyway, so yeah, setting your intention before going to sleep and then surrendering into whatever is needed for you to observe, And what I was saying, yes, this was my thread of my stream of thought that was coming through. Sometimes you don't have the cognizance, you're not aware of what it is that you need to clear or that you need to reclaim your sovereignty. So it's really important, even if you don't know what it is, just to sit and be like, actually, I would like to clear what doesn't serve me, and then set that intention out in the universe, send it to your guides, and then what is needed for you will come to you. But you need to be the mechanism that sets that in motion. Like, yes, you need to be in surrender, but being in flow stays between being in surrender, for the divine will of the universe, and having structure, having discipline. You need to structure yourself. You need to be truthful to yourself. You need to be in alignment. And this is a very big theme that has always been present in my personal life, because my personal life and my work life are the same thing. I'm not someone different when I'm off camera, and I'm not someone different to my friends than what I am to a client or to you guys as I'm speaking. And because of the collective responsibility that I hold, and this is where you guys want to get as well, you don't necessarily have to be doing what I'm doing. However, to be in a high alignment, to be in abundance, to be in a good vibrational frequency, to be operating from fifth dimensional density and reality and creating your own experience, your process, your truth needs to be in alignment with who you are. So your actions need to correspond to your words, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions. They all need to be in alignment. You need to be operating from the space of integrity. What does this mean? You say something, you do it. You live fully in your truth for who you are and unapologetically. And this means releasing fear of judgment. And that's a very big one. We've been conditioned to care about what other people think. Obviously, you want to be a nice human. You don't want to go around like being destructive, because in that case, like obviously, like people are not going to like you. But what I'm talking more about is like, you feel a call to go and work with crystals, but oh my God, my family's going to judge me. What are people going to think? Everyone in my community will think I'm weird. That's not your problem. You can't control what other people think, what other people say, how other people feel. By not aligning with your truth and being who you authentically feel like you need to be, and then I'll get to explain to yourself how you know what it is that you need to be, So by you not being in that space, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to others, because there's others that might need to see that or might need to hear that lesson from you. So it really comes down to not everyone is going to like you anyway, because it's part of life, so you might as well be disliked for something that you actually are authentically than for something that you're not. That's a nice way also of seeing it. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong, like I'm sure there's people out there that everyone likes and loves, but just in general, you come to terms and accept the fact that you're not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. And you'll get to a point where if you are living fully, authentically, truthfully, people that are not meant to be in your peripheral will not be there. And people that you might think that were not meant to be there will actually come closer to you. And by being in your truth, that is the best way to attract a partner, friends, a community that resonates with you. Because most of us get stuck in the program that we have within the family dynamic, the karmic cycles, the traumas, and it's difficult to break patterns that you've had for decades sometimes. Like I was blessed and grateful enough to start this journey quite young. But yeah, they're saying to me, don't like underplay it, because you cleared like eons of karmic cycles as well. So thanks guys for that. I was like, yeah, maybe it's easier because you're younger. No, it's actually not necessarily easier because you're younger. But I do think, they're just saying to me in a perspective, in a timeline within third dimensional density and reality, where time is linear, your earthly experience, if you are 60, it's probably harder to clear a program that you've had than if you are 40. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes, it can be like that. So how do you really step into your truth? How do you step into your power? How do you step into your soul mission? Because that is where you want to be. So first of all, you want to understand that your soul mission can be whatever it is you want it to be. This is a question I get all the time, guys. So many clients come to me, they're like, and I do sessions and I do Akashic clearings and I do light language and I do whatever it is, that I need to do for them and they book me for. And they like, okay, but what's my soul mission? Can you ask my guides? Can they tell you what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I always say the same thing. I'll say to them, I can check and see there might be a sense of direction. However, don't expect them to say, you're going to do this or you're going to do that, because that's very disempowering. That takes away and goes against the universal law of sovereignty. This is a universal law. This is not a law that an energy worker makes. This is a universal law. No being can act who is operating from a space of integrity and from a vibrational frequency that isn't of service to self, but is of service to others. Any being who is operating from that cannot go against the law of sovereignty. Okay. So what happens is, if you know, I come back from the session and say, oh, your guide thingy said that you need to go and plant potatoes for the rest of your life. And you believe me and go do that. How is that empowering for your own experience? So again, there's a sense of direction because some of us have done the same things in many lifetimes. So you're more prone to go down one direction rather than another one. But you can be anything that you want to be, where, you know, your attention goes, your energy will flow. And some things you will have already mastered and done in previous lifetimes, so they will be easier, and some will be new challenges. And that's also a beautiful direction to go in, you know. But the most important thing is that you're choosing out of your own sovereignty, and you're choosing your soul mission, and which also doesn't necessarily have to be one. You can have like many, like I do many things, you know. And again, like, you know, guys, for me, I speak from my own experience because that's what within this reality has brought me to where I am now. And so then how do you anchor into your truth? You know, how do you enter that space of being unapologetically yourself and having also unconditional self-love for yourself, for your experience, for what you've been through, you know? You follow the happiness that would have made your inner child happy. So you need to do inner child work, shadow work, whatever, call it whatever you want, you know? That joy, that frequency that you feel when you're excited about something, when you are happy, when you feel grateful for something, you know, or something that you desire more of, that your child would want, whether it's like, and it's so funny, they're sending me the image of ice cream because I love ice cream. Like, really, and I'm not talking about like the ice cream that you buy at the supermarket. I'm talking like proper Italian gelato. Like, I really like ice cream. It's like one of my weaknesses. I try to avoid like dairy. I'm not vegan. I'm lacto vegan, but I'm very consciously aware of what I put into my body. But like the only time I have is when I have ice cream. And I'll also sometimes have vegan ice cream anyway. So that would be something that for me would bring me inner child joy and happiness, you know. So do more things like that. And yeah, so they're also sending me this to say, but hold yourselves accountable for your experiences, for what it is that you do. So, and that's where the structure and the discipline comes in, you know. So to be in this flow, in this state of, you know, flow consciousness, you need to surrender and then be also disciplined and structured for yourself and towards yourself, you know. So whether it's waking up and doing some exercise, doing some movement to help you move through emotions, to help you move through experiences, you know, or setting boundaries for yourself within your family members, or setting small goals for yourself to do on a weekly basis, learning to express your feelings, learning to communicate. And, you know, the universe will send you what you ask for. You know, you need to work on staying grounded so that you're able to see the lessons and the experiences that are sent to you. Because if you're too busy worrying about the past or the future, you're not going to see what's in front of you. So you're going to miss the lesson, and then they will have to throw it in your face. And trust me, I've learned, like, I'm an Aries. I will go head first into things, like literally. I'm a better, more embodied, more patient Aries now because of all the work that I've done. But I still very much, I don't have attachment to the identity of it, but I still very much resonate with a lot of the things. I mean, there's beautiful qualities when you're like that, like something's said and done and you're very efficient. But my work has been on the other side. My work has been in stepping back and also observing, you know. Sometimes people are too much in that space and they need to learn to take better action, or for a better word, more aligned action. And again, this is a concept you guys want to be working with. What is aligned action? Aligned action is, again, taking action that is in alignment with your truth, your heart, you know. And another example, you have a friend, they invites you to go out, and you don't really want to be going out, but you say yes to them, and then you're out and you just want to be in home in bed, and you pretend like you have fun, and so that's doing something that's not in your truth. That's not taking aligned action. That's taking misaligned action, because you are not living in your truth. You're not living in integrity. You're doing something that you don't really want to be doing. And you're doing it for someone else. And, if they love you for you and want you around regardless, they will understand, and they won't force you to do something that you don't really want to be doing. So you taking aligned action would be you saying to them, hey, actually, I want to stay home tonight. This is my time for me. I want to stay home. I want to stay present. And if they get upset, then that's someone who's not respecting your boundaries. And perhaps they needed to hear that lesson from you, and they can choose to be in your life or not. But most of the time, people will be understanding. They'll be like, oh, okay, like this is what you want to do. Like, great, we'll do it another time. So it also comes down to the people pleasing patterns, that we need to learn to deprogram from, especially the woman, but also the men, and voicing the needs. If anything, guys, over communicate, express, say, and it's difficult in the beginning. Like I really struggled as well, because we don't want to seem demanding. We don't want to seem like we are too much. And it's funny because I recently saw the series, what's it called? The one with nobody wants this, I think, and it's like a romantic love story between, I think he's a rabbi and she does like a podcast. Anyway, it was on Netflix. Like, guys, I also watch Netflix. Like, I'm human. Sometimes people are like, oh my god, you watch Netflix, and I'm like, yeah, I do. I can spot product placement, programming, and like some Netflix productions are like really not great because they are programmed and programming. But this one that I saw for me was really lovely, and it was like quite mature way of communication. And when the woman says like, I'm sorry, like if I'm too much and whatnot, and he's like, no, like you're not too much. Like I can like tell you a million women, clients, friends, myself included, who have felt like that or been in that situation, and it's the programming that's deeply embedded. And you're not too much for voicing your needs, for voicing your truth. All emotions are valid. All emotions are legit. All emotions are valuable and need to be observed. And one emotion is not worse or better than the other. It's just an emotion. You are not your emotions. You are an infinite being of light. So once you start to recognize your emotions for what they are, just emotions, you release the attachment to them and you move past it. And then you are able to embody a more present, more anchored, more patient, more grounded version of yourself, because you are not a slave to your emotions anymore. It's not stopping you from living your life. This is what happens a lot of the time. People get frazzled, they get scattered, they get into their head, they get controlled by their own emotions because they don't understand how to either self-soothe, work within their own nervous system. This is a good one that a friend gave me quite a while ago that I've been using even to my clients. So a lot of the time when we get into like those states where we are responding emotionally, it's like inner child wounding, or traumas or things like that. And it's just the body's somatic response, like a panic attack, the anxiety, a mantra that really helps. And I'm going to answer that now, Sandy. And something that really works, a mantra that really works, is repeating to yourself and to your body, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. Because that's the response the body has. It's like, it's not feeling safe. So it's like, oh, fight or flight mode. Something needs to happen, but you actually are safe, So someone's asked, how would you handle nasty people, ignore or say something? It depends. Like, are they being nasty to you? Are they being nasty to other people? It depends. So if someone says something nasty to me, I will put them in their place, and I'll explain to you why as well. because if you are ignoring them, you are saying to the universe that it's okay for that frequency to be around you because you're not setting a boundary towards them. But if you say to them, actually, please don't talk to me in that way, you still can be polite, you still can be compassionate, it still comes from a place of, but you're setting a boundary, then you're sending a very clear message to the universe that that's not allowed in your field. But if you just ignore someone who's being mean to you, and obviously, guys, pick and choose your battles. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to. But yeah, that's my experience, and that's how I see it, and that's how I operate and navigate in these spaces. I don't really like, I'm just trying to think. I haven't had someone be nasty to me in like, yeah, like I don't even have like client conflict. It doesn't really. You're welcome, Sandy. Thank you for asking that. And guys, please ask, like, these questions are valuable for everyone, you know. It's happened sometimes that I'll have like misunderstandings, but generally I find that even if there is something that's like a client is like, oh, you know, like I wanted this, that, and that, and there's always like a reasonable and compassionate way to solve things. And you have to also understand that someone being nasty, someone being mean or evil and whatnot, is just a reflection of their own insecurities, of their own unhappiness, and of their own problems and issues. You know, how you treat others is a reflection of who you are and what is going on within you. So be compassionate, be gentle, but don't let people step on you. Take no stuff from others. I don't really swear. And the reason I don't swear is because I don't want to anchor into a vibrational frequency of a word that is used by, you know, millions of other people with a negative connotation. Sometimes my clients come to me and they're like, and it's okay if it happens sometimes, like it's, you know, but it's just not really part of my vocabulary. Because sometimes clients are like, oh, but like I'm using it in a joking way. Yes, you are. But there's, you know, millions of people around the world that are using it in a very negative way. So, you know, the frequency imprinting that the word carries is more negative, and why would you want to bring that into your life, you know? So it's really a matter of being consciously aware of everything, you know, every action, everything you do, and checking in with yourself. This is a good way to figure out and understand, like, am I in integrity? Am I in my truth? Am I operating from a space of love? Am I making the decision that is for my highest alignment? You know, if you're doubting, you know, where you need to go and what direction you need to go down, take a break and feel in the body, like feel the somatic response. Let's say you get an offer for a new job, where you go for an interview and you're not really sure, like, is this for me? Is it not for me? So what does the body feel like? If you tune in, like, does the body feel light and happy? Does it feel like, can you envision yourself there? Or does your body feel dense? Is it feeling knotted? Are you feeling nauseated? Are you feeling dizzy, you know? And if it's a more of like a negative feeling, then, you know, that would be a no. But if it feels good, then, you know, that would be more of a yes. So I think being really in tune with the physical also definitely helps. But I think primarily, yeah, being in the space of, you know, you are unique, beautiful, powerful. There is no one like you out there, but you are also part of, you know, the infinite web of unified consciousness and connected unconditional love pool that you can tap into at any given moment in any given time. And remember, there is an infinite abyss of information out there that you have access to, because you are a part of the infinite creator being. And when you separated from the infinite creator being, you became a part of it within itself, but you're also part of the whole. So at any point, you can go back to that whole and go back to that space and access what is needed for you at that moment in time. So really, really reclaiming your sovereignty, your truth, your power, your individual experience and understanding that the best way to move forward within your individual ascension process is to lead by example. You can help if people come to you for advice, or if you are in my line of work and are in this line of work, you can help, obviously, on a little bit more of a practical level. But if you're still in a space where your life is very much operating on a 3D level, people surround you are operating on a 3D level, then lead by example and shine your light, and those that are meant to see your light will find your light and will start connecting to your light. And you can only do that if you're standing in your truth, in your unity, in your values, in your integrity, and in what it is that you bring to the table, and you bring for these people, for these humans. Okay, I'll do a little bit of light language now. I've still got a bit of time, so I'm going to do a bit of a transmission. Yeah. Okay. So you guys can start by closing your eyes, anchoring into your bodies. As you find your comfortable breathing rhythms, with every inhale, you breathe in light. With every exhale, you release all that doesn't serve you anymore. As you relax the body system and energy field, you stay in a space of openness and oneness. And as we call on the Archangelic Collective, Michael to the south, Uriel to the north, Raphael to the east, and Gabriel to the west, we call on Archangel Metatron with his blue cloak of protection from above, and Sinophone to seal the grid from below. As we call on our higher selves, our spirit guides, and anyone else who wishes to be present for the greatest and highest good, you're welcome in the space. Shakoro ashirayata. Taria creo kuatiate ishatkiero kokotra ishenayatra. Opening systems, attuning raya treo koi shirayatra. Trana rea treo kokoa ishe ra area te koa ishe rayatra. Nahia shirayatra siesara koroko ishe. Tana yeta krikten ran raya eo ishera yatra. Taya sera karakia tre creo coco kia teya se na yate aiha shira tai. Taya tre akie re releasing, opening, releasing, letting go, releasing, decoding, detangling, removing, attuning, anchoring, more light, divine rays, anchoring, ratsiataka, tashiare atreo kuatia shie kokua ishera yatrakt, nayatreo, na ia ishia. Tiatarea crect croas yesero achet kaishia. Ta asheyat resayata crakt. Nrat creaseo quaishiam narai. Nre atiera seo setkaishia. Ntakiara trea sietara ishiataka. See Ntakiera trea kiera, expanding, opening, attuning, opening, expanding into more light, divine rays. Rashiat karaishiatara. Trea kiera takat kre asiero kokora tre atre ro taishinayataka. Tayatea kre nayaro ntashirataka. Uraya shira se ya se okokoa ishira yatra sera. As we expand, we open into more light, into more love. Yatokoa ishira, we open our hearts to divine codes coming in, anchoring, 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 clean, releasing, 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 expanding, releasing, expanding, expanding. Kiera, kiera, taka. Tra, tre, 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 tuning, 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 tuning. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Oof, some of you have very old programs. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Clean, releasing, 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 releasing. Da carai shira taka. Na ye o ro 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 ra 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 ya shira taka. Ya treo na 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 shira ya ta. Sha ya te akiero koko ai shina ya tra kro ta 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 ya te ka I are shie koko ai shira ka krai shie taka. Tara ia ishe raya natrea seram clearing now on the cranial structure. Quiero koa ishe nataka. Tiera ta kria tre aseya se kokoa ishe nata. Taina yara trea kia tera ia isie sakuro kot krea siataka. Taya trea kieta rea che kokat kria naratra. Nte yo 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 taya shia te karaya si se nayatai. Taya shieka kuro unaya trasa grounding, grounding, anchoring, grounding, anchoring, grounding, anchoring, 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 grounding, anchoring, grounding, 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 nyako korai shira yatra. Trea trea creo koko trea shira takra, tre akiera kiero kokora isiatara. Ntana ia ishie tokua ia ishie tokora ia ishie taka. Tiatarea treo kokora ia siena taka. Taya isie tara trea treo ko a trea trea sie ko kot krai shienata trea treo ko tra tre a trea tre ko kora isera ya tra tia te ona ia ishiera tre a creo koro shira balancing 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 balancing. I'm doing some work on the nervous systems now. Balancing balancing balancing, attuning balancing, attuning 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 releasing releasing releasing. Some of you are holding on to a lot of stuff for family members. Clearing, releasing, 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 extracting, 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 removing, 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 removing. Tai shiataka. Trea kiera ta creo sukuro ko ishira yatra. Tai shira yatra. Yeah, some of your nervous systems are very, very exhausted. Kai shiro kokoro ishina yatra. Closing ceiling, closing ceiling, closing ceiling, ceiling, closing ceiling, closing. Closing ceiling, 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 closing ceiling, closing, closing ceiling, ceiling, closing ceiling, 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 closing, closing, closing ceiling. Uroi shinayata. Uroi shirayata. Okay. You can gently come back to the bodies and ground back into your physical vessels. You're also welcome to stay in process, guys. You'll be clearing and releasing for a few days, up to 3 weeks for full integration of everything. You might feel like you need to eat more, sleep more, rest more. You might feel more hungry. You might get more emotions come up. You might integrate in your sleep. Just be mindful and aware that like things will move through. The light language works on a subconscious level. You don't have to understand. It works beyond the constraints of space and time. And yeah, you might feel things like whistling in your ears, or you might have like twitches and releases. If you're hearing this on replay, it's going to be just as effective. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I did an upgrade of the nervous system. I did some clearing cords, sacral solar plexus, cranial structure upgrade, blood circulation, cleared old emotions. I did some ancestral karmic timeline clearing as well. And again, everyone integrates differently. My ear got blocked. So ears are generally, there might be something that you're not listening to, something that you're missing, or you might just be clearing through your ear chakras. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Please let me know your feelings and how you're doing. And again, you're welcome to stay in process. You're welcome to lie down, or, carry on, listening and receiving more activations. I'm sure there'll be a lot more energy work coming up. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, your bed shook. Yeah, I thought I was going to go off planet at one point. My chair was shaking from my legs. My legs started activating and shaking because I was clearing energetically through them as well, almost like tremors. So that was quite interesting. So I literally felt like I was almost, going to go off planet, and I was going to get taken for my ship. So yeah, for those of you who want to know where to find me, my website and my link tree is below here. My website is altelucrezia.com. I am currently going to be, actually, I'm going to be in Italy in December taking one-on-ones. So if any of you are there, I'll be in Milano. February and January, I'm running a workshop in New York City on the 1st of February, and I'm taking one-on-one clients in New York. I will be staying in Manhattan. And then after that, I'll be at the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton, and I will be taking one-on-one in person in Los Angeles as well. I will be there those 2 weeks from the 3rd of February until the 16th, and I'll be holding a workshop on the 15th as well. So if you want to book a one-on-one, please send me a DM. Or message me through, no, sorry, not a DM. I don't necessarily see them all because I've got a lot of people. A message through my website or my email. My email is info@altelucrezia.com. I don't know if I can write it here. No, I can't. But anyway, if the organizers can write it, that would be great. And my website link. And then I'm still offering 6-week program, 6-month program. I've got a whole bunch of workshops coming up. I've got something happening on the 11/11 that's going to help with the Law of One, Dragon Body activations. It'll be light language. You'll get some bonus codes as well. And then I've got maybe like 20 different workshops on my website. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. What will I do in Italy? I'm going to be doing a workshop in Italian, though. That'll be in Italian. And then I will be doing one-on-one activations. So if you want to contact me for a one-on-one in-person session, please let me know, and then I can arrange a time and date for that for you. And yeah, my collective healing event of the 15th November is up, and so is my time.
That's a good segue. So everyone can see below your link tree handle right there. That's how they can get a hold of you, I guess, easiest. That was amazing. I felt that just rocking through my whole body. It kind of felt like pins and needles, to be honest, but like in a good way, like all up my legs and everything. And yeah, a bit floaty now, that's for sure. I certainly need to ground. And I know that a lot of people in here would probably need to ground as well, but so much love in here for you. So yeah, from myself as well. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure. Oh, you well. Someone said in Italian, grazie, prego. Thank you for having me. It's always a beautiful experience. And yeah, I'm really grateful to be here and just to share. And thank you for everyone who took the time and is here and is listening.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time.